The girl. Let her go! Shut up! Come closer, and I kill her! Sorry, but you're not gonna get the chance. Interesting start. Hello there. Oh. Whoa. Don't see Phoenix like this very often. I'm reading through the file of an old court case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Why you doing that, buddy? Oh. Terry Fowles. Kidnapping, murder. Sentence, death penalty. Also, he seems to have a run-in with some barbed wire. After escaping, Fowles met with and then murdered Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, recaptured on Eagle Mountain about 8 hours after his escape. Okay, well that's a name I've heard. Her very first client, who was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before me and I ever met. Interesting choice for a thing. Oh, 6 years earlier, Mia Fey, first trial. All right, so I'm noticing a couple things right off the bat, but before I do, hello one and all, and welcome back to more Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. I am the Max Few Trades. We've begun a new case, and it seems we are now going back to the past once again. Our first case of this game was Mia's second trial, and I can't help but remember that she said that her first trial ended in a way that traumatized her to the point where she didn't think she would ever be a lawyer again, and in fact, it took an entire year before she ever took another case. So that kind of bodes poorly for us in general, if I'm being entirely honest. Also, Hawthorne. That's not a good last name. Dahlia Hawthorne was the culprit behind everything in the first case, but this takes place before that one even. So it's feasible we might be getting a bit more backstory on that whole situation. All right, let's take a look at what we've already got. We got a lawyer's badge, and we got an autopsy report. Stabbed with a knife in the back. Died from blood loss between 4 and 5 p.m. Interesting, because I thought I saw someone get shot and fall off a bridge. Let's see. Terry Fowles, my client sentenced to death 5 years ago. Escaped from custody 2 days ago. Why would you... I guess I'm kind of confused as to why Mia would defend somebody who was already convicted to the point where they were... If they were already sentenced... Okay, this is a quick question. I don't know the legal matters behind all of this, but isn't it strange that somebody who is already sentenced to death from a prior trial... Okay, so he escapes and he kills someone else. Is another trial after that actually necessary? Because he's still sentenced to death from his first thing. So what would the point of a second trial even be in the long run? Secondly, why would Mia defend somebody unless we don't think that they committed the crime that got them sentenced to death the first time? But interesting. Also, if he was sentenced to death 5 years ago, why is he still alive now? I have many questions, and I'm not sure how many of them to expect to actually get answers for. And Valerie Hawthorne. Man, these people are young, and that bugs me. Police officer and the victim, the key witness in the case against Fowles 5 years ago. Okay, so that would have... All right, so you already got an established motive right then and there. I'm already not really feeling too good about things because I'm already aware of the fact that this trial ends badly. I'm so nervous, I feel like I'm gonna die. I never should have accepted this case. I mean, I was gonna just say it outright, but it did seem kind of odd to do so. Yeah. Good morning. Don't be so jumpy, Mia. I didn't do nothing, I swear. I didn't kill nobody. Terry Fowles, my first client. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, and if I'm not, I apologize. Sentenced to death 5 years ago, and now a prison escapee. You never would have been able to guess. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. So, why did you escape anyway? Ooga! Eek! I'm sorry. Sorry, that was her. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. Okay, well this man's clearly Interesting. I never lie. I didn't escape from nowhere. But Mr. Fowles, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago. Sorry, I told a little lie. Oh boy. But anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed nobody. Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? Why is this trial even happening? Ooga! Yeah, I'm really, really sorry. Stop chewing on things. They sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell you. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got the death penalty. I swear it, I didn't kill her. I could never do that. 2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Why was he being transported? Then about 8 hours later, a policewoman who was murdered before the police could recapture him. Never a good look. The police believe that Terry Fowles did it. After you escaped, did you meet a policewoman? Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped. So that much is true. He did meet with the victim. But I didn't kill her. She was alive when I left. She was alive, it's true. I can trust him, right? I mean, I should. Oh, ha! Wait, ha? Exclamation point. Oh. You're not gonna figure out the truth by just staring at the guy. All right, hi, clearly Godot. How are you? Why are you here? I came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big scary lion's den. Interesting that he has like a main thing going here. And yeah, he even has the exact same expressions as, yeah, this is Godot. His hair's a different color and his suit's a different shade as well, but, not a different shade, it's an entirely separate color, it's red, but still, interesting. Okay, so then I guess my theory was correct then. Like it kind of has to be. Well, I guess maybe we should wait to hear his name. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. Where's Mr. Grossberg? Ha, that old man's probably still in bed. Hemorrhoid related, no doubt. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Not a very high opinion of Grossberg, see? Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armando. Yep, okay, so, yeah, all right. Interesting. I didn't say, so, Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Office, is here for me? No, you've got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. That could be seen as harassment. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. One might even say a stupid amount. Imagine, an escaped death row convict for our first client. Yeah, thanks. I sure wish I could get out of it, though. Relax, I just heard some good news. The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. I guess this is also Edgeworth's first trial. Interesting. Really? However, unlike a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned the reputation as a genius since beginning his law career. Genius? Well, it's about time to head in, kitten. Sharpen those claws of yours, it's go time! A solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him, but not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple childlike voice, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth. Well, that's definitely not a thing her future protege would know anything about. Oh, yeah, he's even holding coffee. Yeah, oh, hi, it's you. Court is now in session for the trial of Terry Fowles. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Whoa, look at Edge. He looks so young. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. I understand the lawyers for both sides are newcomers. I am deeply concerned and weirded out by this judge. Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Fey. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. So you're the new prosecutor everyone's talking about, eh? They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age. At 20, Your Honor. Do we have him there now? Let's see. Diego Armando, 27. Interesting. Okay, well then assuming that this is Godot and it was 6 years ago, now we know his age. Yeah, he still is 20. Well, how about that? Also, that looks like a slightly older picture. Interesting. guess our little kitten hasn't earned herself much of a reputation yet, huh? Interesting to have Godot on my side. Come on, Mia, you can't lose. Not to someone younger than you. Yeah, but by how much? Young people running a trial. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Yeah, well, I'm not too sure how I feel about your entire existence. I honestly feel uncomfortable without the judge here. I mean, he's a judge, but I want the judge. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon. Is that correct? Precisely. But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day that the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. So we're here to determine if Mr. Fowles was responsible for his death. You got it, kitten. Why must you call me this? Makes me uncomfortable. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement. Yes, Your Honor. It was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Fowles, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. Woo, okay, well. I mean, murder of anyone of any age is considered a very high crime, but I can see how that might expedite the death row kind of sentencing. Jesus. A truly horrible crime. I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted. I want to, like, give people voices, but did I give Edgeworth a voice? It's been so long since I voiced him, I don't know. Correct. But in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness's testimony. Wow, I am getting some serious flashbacks with these, this body language. A witness's testimony. Who recorded this? I know nobody, it's for effect, but still. It's like old-timey sepia film. The testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. Oh, okay, so this was the scene before. Okay, this is the crime 5 years ago, not the crime that we're currently doing. That makes sense. Wait a second, though. She arrested Mr. Fowles at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Fowles throw his young victim into the river, but I know there was a gunshot involved, and she was the only one with a gun. Interesting. Also, if I could get back to my evidence for a moment, boy, that would be nice. Hang on, okay. I just need to check something really quick. Okay. That's interesting. No. When she was 18, she did this? Holy crap. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful currents. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. So Miss Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away. That policewoman you just mentioned, that wouldn't be... Exactly, the victim. The same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Ah! Whoa, that was an interesting face. I see. The man who sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago. With only one thing on his mind, to take revenge against the woman who convicted him. Ah, oh God, that face. The truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes, yes. It's quite obvious that the defendant is guilty. Excuse me? Wait a minute, that's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor. Darn. Watch yourself, Miss Faye. I'm not sure I care for your word choice or your tone of voice. Yeah, but you gotta at least let her do her job. Holy hell, is anybody getting some Manfred vibes here? I mean, it makes sense. This is freakishly... Oh, man, yeah, I just realized this is really young Edgeworth. This is, like, long before he had his character development, Edgeworth. Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders. Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite. You hypocrite? You hypochondrious? Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness. I called the detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case. What do you want to bet is Gumshoe? It is Gumshoe. Man's been working the job for a while. Witness, state your name and occupation. Gumshoe, Dick Gumshoe. I'm the homicide detective in charge of the case, sir. I finally got promoted to the detective division half a year ago. Well, good for him. I don't believe anyone asked you about that. Hey, ma'am, you got any idea how much work it takes? What is it? You. You're really gorgeous. Excuse me? No, seriously. My hot gumshoe. I don't claim to be good with women. In fact, I have next to no experience. But I feel like this isn't the right place, time, or words. Detective, pull yourself together and try to be professional. Otherwise, I'll write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache. Ugh. Okay, I got it. Now, detective, tell us about the incident. I'm never gonna get used to this face. Yes, sir, right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran on the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. That much is already stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself. Yes, sir, gotcha. Okay, let's take a look at this aerial map of the area here. Interesting. This is a sketch of Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge. And the river that runs under there is Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met there, on top of the bridge. Interesting. How'd they get so... I mean, that's a badly damaged bridge. How exactly did they end up in this specific situation? After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. Well, because if the killer was running away, wouldn't the victim be, like, behind the killer, and the killer would be pushed up against the broken bridge parts? Just saying. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir. Interesting. I see. Bridge located 40 feet above Eagle River. Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? The victim, Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. Oh, that's a problem. If there was no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that they ever even met there. Your Honor. Smug. If you would listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day. Why, Mr. Edgeworth, you're making my eyes freak out. I look like a damn alien. I'm not sure I like you wagging your finger at me, though I was some hoser. Oh, hoser. Wait, he's Canadian? Did I learn that the last time Okay, hang on. I got this. Oh boy, I'm not good with accents. Detective, proceed with your testimony. Yes, sir. Man, I'm gonna have to bounce between them two. Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, now, listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake and this guy'll drink you for morning tea. Trust me and get ready. Tea? I thought you were a coffee man. That makes no sense. Or am I not supposed to have realized that? On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Okay. Sergeant Hawthorne went to Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Fowles. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminal stuffed the body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Fowles was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. All right. Well, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge. Smug. Naturally. Now, would the defense please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination? Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination. Coming right up. Hey. Settle down there, kitten. If you keep trembling like that, you're gonna make me spill my coffee. Is it coffee or tea, you crazy man? Make up your mind. I'm not trembling. It's just cold in here. The courtroom can be a cold battlefield, all right. Especially for a beginner. I don't need you to worry about me. I mean the defendant, the witness. Everyone's a beginner here. You got me there. But maybe you should keep your claws out and show them what you've got, kitten. Stop calling me that! It's okay, Mia. Stay calm. Just remember those court procedure videos you stayed up all last night watching. I feel like that might not help you completely, but I guess it's better than nothing. All right, let's press some info. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. All right, is that still unknown? This unknown person. You have no idea who it might be, right? Sorry, but I'm afraid I do. Well, then why'd you say unknown? What? The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Fowles. What? The defendant? The defendant called her? Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about her phone call with Mr. Fowles. A note? Yeah, a top secret memo that she left on her desk. Interesting. Confidential police matters. Materials written by the victim. According to this, which we'll look at now, February 14th, 1:21 p.m. Fouls, 4:30 p.m. at that bridge. Wear white scarf for identification. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Okay, see, now this has already gotten rather interesting, gotta say. According to this note, it seems the one who called her to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Fowles. I'm not too sure about Canadian accents. Whose bright idea was it to keep that note from me? Looks like the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer. It's the detective's fault. He's the one that said unknown person. Hey now, don't make that face at me. I just said it that way because the prosecutor told me to. Was that a trap? With that cute face, I didn't expect him to be so sneaky. Now's not the time to... Everybody be hitting on everybody in this room. I don't know how I feel about that. All right, interesting. So, why would she... I mean, if she's... Considering her history with Fowles, why would she go there alone? Why not bring backup? A bridge up in the mountains? But why meet there? Because it's a very important place to the defendant, that's why. What do you mean by that? If you remember, 5 years ago, the defendant kidnapped a young girl. He was chased onto a bridge, and it was there that he killed his hostage. And the place where all of this occurred is, of course, Dusky Bridge. My gods! The very place where Sergeant Hawthorne arrested and handcuffed Miss Fowles. Returning to the scene of the crime. How nostalgic. Is that... I know I've asked that before, but it still seems like a weird thing to actually be true. Okay. Stuff their body into the cart. Okay. Let's talk about it. Mr. Fowles had a car then. Well, that bridge is way up in the mountains, ma'am. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else, right? All right, well, here's a quick question. I only see a car. So that's interesting. What? You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Car thieves. I'm not sure how I feel about car thieves. I imagine negatively, as it's a crime. Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything? Doesn't seem that way. This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk. Oh, hello. Ooh, hello. I'm already seeing a contradiction. In the note, we got wear white scarf for identification. I don't see no scarf. Naturally, that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne in there. Whoa, that doesn't look too comfortable. Well, she's dead, so I don't think she'll be complaining. The victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct? Yeah. For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back. We're talking about a woman here. So that doesn't even make sense from even the point of view that you were angling from. You can't tell from this photo, but the knife was stuck in the back nice and firm. The condition of the body when it was discovered is very important information. Detective, was there anything strange and noteworthy in the trunk of the car? That's not Canadian, but that's what I'm going with. Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange, do you? Anyway. Oh, Mr. Fowles was arrested at a police checkpoint. We set up. Okay, well, yeah, actually, no. Hang on. Do I press this or do I present the note? Oh, let's press it first just to be safe. What did the defendant have to say about this photo? What he always says, ma'am. I didn't do it. I didn't do nothing. That's all he says. Nothing. I wouldn't say he did nothing. At the very least, we know he stole a car. It's just what he always says, Your Honor. And then he always says, sorry, I told a little lie. Or something like that. Well, in any case, it seems he was caught and arrested. Precisely. Okay, then we'll back it up, and then we'll present the notes. Objection! Explain this noise, son. Witness! What is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Faye? I'm sorry, I totally forgot what I was going to say. This is the first time I've ever had to actually address someone like that. You should have practiced before coming to court. Honestly, Miss Faye, I'm not sure I like this. Yeah, well, I'm not sure I like you very much, Mr. Yellowbeard. Say there, little kitten. Want a piece of my coffee candy? That... I feel like that could be phrasing. Candy? Well, you're still too young to be drinking real coffee. Come on, Mia, shake it off. You're a lawyer. Slam Zam! Detective! Yes, ma'am. This photo. You said that there was nothing peculiar about it. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what I said. Well then, I suggest you take another look at the note written by the victim. The note? It very clearly says, wear white scarf for identification. The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like. Thus, this special request. I have one very simple question for you, detective. Where's the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in this photo. Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am. And you stopped there? You should have looked for it. Dag. I'm not sure how much of a threat. Mia's going all in on this, and I don't think it's as big a deal as she's making it seem. The caller told her to wear to identify herself, so I expect she did just that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this? Smug things, of course. I see the defense is a little lacking. Eh? The scarf you are searching so desperately for. Is it this one, perchance? No, that scarf is blue. Ah! Where did you find that, sir? On Dusky Bridge. I was there first and decided to conduct my own investigation. What? Why didn't you tell me? I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. All right, well, for a mental note, Edgeworth carries a man purse. It's the safest place I know. That hotshot sure has a flair for the dramatic. As if you did not. It's not exactly white, as the caller requested. But as you can see, it's close enough for what it was intended for. Looks like it spent some time in the mud. Not surprising, it was drizzling on the mountain that day. Prosecutor Edgeworth, he was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time. The court will accept the scarf into evidence. All right, I guess that'll have to do. Now, if the attorney for the defense is finished embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on with the testimony. That is all right with you, isn't it, Miss Faye? Boy, would I like to wrap this scarf around his swarmy little neck. Mia, now is not the time to contemplate murder. Very good. Now, if we're done with this mud-covered scarf business, the prosecution moves to establish conclusively and with hard evidence that Miss Hawthorne and Mr. Fowles did indeed meet on that bridge that day. Further, we will show exactly what occurred there. That sounds quite promising. I can't wait to hear all about it. There we go. If we're going Canadian, we're going with the boots. Everything is moving at his whim. Don't forget, kitten, there's a reason why everyone considers this kid a genius. A genius, huh? I'm not sure where exactly this trial's gonna go. It just ends poorly. Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. Interesting. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows the Vic wearing the scarf, sir. All right, fair enough. Also, a hat. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. And it must have been when the scarf fell off. Okay, but I still find the positioning of the entire situation to be a little wonky, if I'm being entirely honest. But, all right, sure, I guess. Looking at the photo, you really get the sense that the bridge is very high up. It's about a 40-foot drop from the bridge to the Eagle River down below. Mr. Edgeworth, who took this photo anyway? Let's just say that it was a well-intentioned third party. Ah, a potential witness! So why isn't this person in the courtroom? Well, they said they absolutely did not want to testify. The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Oh, hello. Besides, as long as we have this photo, we see no reason to compel them to testify. I'm not sure how I feel about that. That's apparently his catchphrase. I don't know how I feel about literally anything. So, as you can see, Terry Fowles had both the motive and the opportunity. I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on that bridge. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Except at the same time, I do feel that way, I guess. Very well. Ah! The truth is becoming clear to me now. The rain is gone. Oh, don't do this. Yes, it's quite obvious. He's clearly guilty. Not again. That's not fair. I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. I don't know how I feel about you trying to do your job. What do you mean, What do you mean with all this noise? All right, so this is interesting. So there's an eyewitness who took... Can we get a little more info about that? Who is this eyewitness? She's a college student. It's Dahlia. A female college student? In this economy? That's right. Meaning she's female and a college student, ma'am. She doesn't do well in front of other people, so I came to testify for her. Maybe so, but as the attorney for the defense, I have the right to cross-examine her. For the time being, we're not relying on the witness's statements. That is all. What is that supposed to mean? The prosecution has other, more decisive evidence. Our case doesn't rest on the vague testimony of a female college student. A female college student, eh? I mean, she's female and a college student, sir. If you absolutely must hear a testimony, you'll have to give us a good reason why. Please tell us about the more decisive evidence in question. I'm doing my best to try and get these voices down, guys. I know I'm not doing a great job, but I'm trying. All right, so it shows the... Okay, that's interesting and everything, but how do you accidentally take a photo? The victim is wearing a scarf in this photo, all right. So, about the witness who took this photo, what was this person doing all the way in the mountains? He was taking photos of wildflowers, apparently. There are many unusual types of flora on the mountain, Miss Faye. Perhaps in the area, say, it's because of the spirits that live there. People in this area, I mean. Whoopsie doodles. Spirits? Now that you mention it, this photo, this cloudy fog-like thing, is a ghost! I don't believe it! No, Your Honor, no, I don't think it's a ghost. There are ghosts in this universe, but I don't think that's the case. It was drizzling that day, unfortunately. Okay, hold the phone. I actually have a bit of an idea of where to go with this, but I want to make sure. Drizzling, huh? That's right. There was a light rain coming down. The whole place was dreary. But not as dreary as the mood that's in this courtroom right now. Haha. God, that face. It looks like I called fronts just moved in. In any case. Alright. The point is that the area was quite damp. There was even some fog. I even slipped and fell while I was on the bridge. It was really something. Slip, fall, go boom. Alright, so this is an interesting line of stuff. Let's talk about it. Is that part of the witness's testimony as well? Of course it is. He pushed the victim hard in the back and she fell down right on her stomach. I remember that happening once myself. It was really brutal. Oh, brutal. Are you talking about seeing someone get pushed, or were you the one getting pushed? Or does it mean that you pushed someone down like that once? With his mind-boggling tales and the way he said brutal, I wonder if he's Canadian. Are Canadians known for their mind-boggling tales? Save your nasty look for the right person. Where? Take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow. Or maybe the court record seems to have wet itself. Hey, watch where you spill your coffee. The court record, huh? All right, that must have been when the scarf fell off. All right, well, hang on. Okay, so she got pushed. Well, first and foremost, considering the arrangement, but it's not listed here, I feel like if she got pushed, she would have fell off the frickin' bridge entirely. But instead, how about we look at the fact that it doesn't, for having fallen over on her stomach, doesn't seem to be any worse the wear, especially when you consider how muddy the scarf got. So how about objection? How about we follow that trail, eh? So at the time of the crime, there was a light drizzle coming down, correct? Yeah, and fog too. Just a generally soggy atmosphere. Real damp. I hear a lot of people don't like that word. Damp. Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with the soggy atmosphere. This is a photo of the victim's body that was found in the car trunk. Considering the conditions at the scene of the crime, something isn't right. Edgeworth's already aware. Well, by all means, please enlighten us as to what isn't right. That's a southern accent! Why am I even trying? What is it about this photo of the trunk that doesn't fit with the conditions, eh? What is all this about? All right, maybe just point in the general direction of her gestural stomachal region? Naturally, the answer is right here. The victim's Goat? As far as I can see, there's nothing strange about it. That's exactly what's strange. Recall the testimony. What were the conditions on the bridge that day? Soggy, dampy, it was drizzling and foggy. Dusky Bridge was all wet. If the victim really had fallen down on her stomach on top of that bridge, then the front of her coat should have been covered in mud. I guess the bridge itself is covered in... I mean, if the scarf got covered in mud. That's exactly right. Yeah, the day I fell on a muddy street and my gorgeous playoff beard was befouled. I can think of no greater crimes to ever take place. I may not like this new judge, or old judge as the case may be, very much, but I gotta say, from one beard to another, respect. Objection! Your beard's already a mess. I do admit that the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean that the top of the bridge itself was muddy. If Your Honor had fallen in the shower instead of on a muddy street, your glorious hockey beard, pride of the legal league, would be wet, but not muddy. Shimmy shake. Fortunately, I've yet to test that. Still, your point is well taken. Can you prove that the surface of the bridge was muddy that day? Well, I guess the scarf is basically the best way to do that. A real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like this. Neither would a real woman. Yeah, gender equality. Of course I can. Yeah. Check this noise out, Edgeworth. Here's the evidence that proves the surface of the bridge was muddy. Boom shakalaka. The evidence is this scarf. It should be obvious, but in case it's not, let me spell it out for y'all. If the scarf fell onto the bridge and got this muddy, it means that the bridge was obviously covered in mud. Bracken! No, not. I can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo. Excuse me? Edgeworth. My goodness, you developed more as a character than I even remember. I can't believe you'd just openly say something like that. Hey, same to you, buddy. Oh, Mio just called you a bimbo. Miss Faye's assertion makes perfect sense to me. I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction between the condition of the victim's coat and a scarf. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction? Yeah. For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Let's look at what the explanation in this case may be, shall we? All right. It's not like he's really giving me a choice here. Huh. You're doing pretty well for a little kitten. But stop with that, Mr. Armando. No matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. It's either the victim discovered in the trunk, the witness's photo showing the defendant and the victim, or the witness's testimony that stated she saw the moment of the murder. Just relax and think it over. It's pretty simple, isn't it? The false evidence, it's one of those three. What you just said just now, I'm not sure I like that. That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over here that said it. Yeah, well, ask me if I give a darn. This court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Lay it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence into the court. Bada bing! But we won't let him. He'll expose his evidence as the flimsy scam it really is. Yeah, right, this is the Edgeworth that does anything to win. All right, the false evidence in this case, well, let's see, if I had to guess, considering the whole point of this, I'm assuming, is to be able to get information out of the witness, who I assume to be Dahlia, and to get her out here, it's obviously gotta be the testimony itself that's faulty, yeah? It's a no-brainer. Obviously, it's the witness that's suspicious. A suspicious witness. That's down with the sickness. Ooh, wah-ah-ah. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Now, is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen? Yeah, that's what the witness told us. My stylish hair says otherwise. That testimony is filled with holes. I wouldn't call it Swiss, but, you know, I wouldn't exactly call it cheddar either. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all. That's true. It's not just true, it's the truth. Shut up. There was a truly decisive witness in this case. I'm certain that boy wonder over there would have called them in the first place. Oh, you just got called Dick Grayson! Your Honor, the defense requests to cross-examine the eyewitness. The testimony presented so far is not only vague, but contradictory as well. I'm most unorthodox, so I want to play Mario 3. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, it appears that we'll need to hear from your mystery witness after all. You should brace yourself for the brutal truth. C'est ce quoi? Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from the court. We are prepared to present our witness at any time. Very well. Please bring forth your witness at this time. What Mr. Edgeworth said kind of worries me. What does he mean by the brutal truth? Well, if this is who I think it is, I already don't believe in them at all. Well, let's proceed with the testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, please go right ahead. Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her very own eyes. This is it, Mia. The battle begins here. Come on, stop delaying, stop delaying. Witness, what is your name and occupation? Yep, that's what I thought. Oh, now I know why there's a completely different judge. Yeah, everyone is so silent that I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter. Pitter-patter all up in this place, son. My goodness. All right, okay. But yeah, because the judge would have recognized her, because it was only 1 year apart. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh. When I look at you, how can I put it? Are you gonna say the exact same thing the other judge did? Okay, well, first of all, no, the original judge did, in fact, not say that. Or rather, I guess the judge after this one didn't. Secondly, I kind of don't want to read that. That's kind of gross. Okay, I'm just gonna go out of my way to ignore that. Hey, not so fast! As I said before, the witness is very sensitive and delicate. Yeah, we totally believe that. Oh, the power of being the player and knowing this person ahead of time. I would ask the court to please exercise care when addressing her. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. You're a true gentleman. He called me a bimbo. The hell you talk about, gentlemen? Miss Faye, you could learn a lot from this man. If he's such a gentleman, he sure doesn't act like one to me. Okay, at least she pointed out. Sir? Huh? Yes, my dear? This is my first time, so I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes. Anyway, I just wanted to say I'm sorry for all the trouble I might cause. Not at all. It's no trouble at all. Now then, may we please have your name and occupation? My name is, Melissa Foster? Okay, well, that's a bold-faced lie. I'm a college student, a freshman in the literature department. You were on the scene when the unfortunate event occurred, correct? And you were the one who took this photo? Is that accurate? How could you be so mean? Now see here, what are you doing shoving that in her face like that? What? But it's just a photograph. It's not like it's something dangerous. Do I look like I give a too-dang hooser bit about that? I'm gonna throw my loonies and toonies at you before I go out of here, storm out and buy some bagged milk. Don't you know? That's more Minnesotan. Whatever, next time I'll be forced to penalize you. Whoa, okay, I don't like the turn this is taking. Also, the word was penalize. Is she staring at me? And you would be? Yeah, I'm the defense attorney. My name is Mia Faye. I see. So you are. Do we know each other from even before the time when we knew each other? Now then, young lady, could you please give us your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I'll do my best. Disney smile. Run, butterflies! It's not safe here! I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then, I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. that's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. And right after that, I called the police. We're just gonna go one... That all seems a little too simple to me, but very well, very well. By the way, where were you standing when this incident occurred? I believe the map would be of help here. Yeah, it really actually would. I was standing right over here. I was standing in a beautiful field surrounded by tall cliffs. Okay, so you took the photo from that location, eh? I bought the camera I was using at the time, just like Mr. Edgeworth asked me to. Ho ho ho! A cute camera, just like its owner. Could we not do this? What's with all of the hitting-ons of the women's in this place? It's very rude. Also, I should actually take a closer look at that. Hang on a second. A small but powerful muddle. Fair enough. But I warn you, make the witness cry again and you'll feel the wrath of my gavel. In the sense that I can't press things, or what? Okay, well, going off that assumption, what would I want to press? Or do I have evidence to support something else? I was using my camera to take pictures of wildflowers, and I noticed two people up on the bridge. Suddenly, they start fighting. That's when I hurried and took the photo that shows the crucial moment. And right after that, I called the police. All right, let's press this. Why did you take a photo? Well, the two of them were really going at it. Ever since I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a news reporter. And I guess that part of me just kind of took over. Smells like a lie to me. This I understand completely. Even now, I can't completely abandon my boyhood dreams. I still use my grandson to test my comedy routines on. You wanted to be a comedian, huh? Not that it has any bearing on this, but hey, interesting trivia. All I could do was to use my camera. All I could do was... I'm not sure if that's entirely grammatically correct, but whatever, not important. So I took the photo of the crucial moment and gave it to the police. Okay, and after that, I called the police. Interesting. Well, I guess I can press, so let's press. Did you say wildflowers? Yes, the mountain is famous for its beautiful spring wildflowers. But it's only February. Well, I couldn't wait for spring to come. Oh, I know just how you feel. It's just like when I first started growing this glorious beard of mine. I just couldn't wait, so I wore a dyed blonde Santa beard until mine grew in properly. Do you mind if we got back to the facts of the case, Your Honor? Well, I'm certainly learning a fair amount of stuff going on here, but all right. Okay, so, well, the only thing I can think of to really bring up, the crime photo, no, not the crime photo. Do I have the, I have so many photos, witness photo. Okay, I'm just gonna say this doesn't really look like a crucial moment, really. It looks like they're just kind of standing around. So let's go with that. Objection! Witness, when you said you took a photo of the crucial moment, is this what you meant? All I can see in this photo are two people facing each other. You testified that you saw the two of them starting to fight. Normally that's the kind of thing we would refer to as a crucial moment. Why haven't you presented a photo like that? Well, you see, the photo we presented was the only one there was. But if you really wanted to capture the crucial moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it. Especially if all your lies are true. My apologies, young lady, but Miss Faye's assertion is not without a certain amount of merit. He can certainly downplay a situation, can't he? I'm sorry. Don't make me say weird things, you obvious psychopath. I used it all up. The film, I mean. You ran out of film? This photo was the last one. What? Smug. Unfortunately, that is the truth. I personally examined all of the photographer-graphs. Don't know why I said it like that. She took that day. All the other photos are of the witness herself playing among the wildflowers. The witness herself? Who took the photos? Well, you see, my camera has a timer feature built into it. So you took photos of yourself? Man, you're so vain, you probably think this trial's about you. I remember taking some photos of myself once too. Please, no details. I don't know what that's meant to imply, and I don't want to think about it. It seems that Miss Faye's assertion was not so decisive after all. Wait, just a minute. No, I don't wanna. Well, if she had no film left, she could very well take more pictures, eh? What's that all about? Miss Foster, perhaps then you could tell us about a different sort of photo? Photos of the incident that you took with your very own eyes. Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet. Very well then, let's get back to the cross-examination. Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed. Yes, Mr. Judge. Condescending smile of evil. Because that's just how she be, I guess. Boy, this guy is really a sucker for sweet talk. And that's not even beginning to start with it, man. Heh. It looks like the other kitten in the room is the one that's getting all the attention. Yes, as Mia herself once said, apparently, the milkshake bringing the boys to the yard. Okay, so has anybody ever actually listened to that song? Assuming you have, you know what the proverbial milkshake is. I find it weird that Mia, of all people, would say that about Dahlia, of all people. I'm just saying, there's a contradiction that doesn't line up with that comparison. I feel like the localization really just thought that was a funny joke and didn't really think much about it. Anyway, let's move it on. Yeah, it's sickening. It sickens me! I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Why? Are you a nerd? Did you say wildflowers? Well, no, I meant the tamed ones. Yes, the mountain is famous for its beautiful spring wildflowers. Oh, but it's only February. Oh. My bad, I thought we got an entirely... Sorry, that went right over my head. Suddenly, they just started fighting. The victim turned around and tried to run away, but... Okay, and now I'm not 100% sure exactly what to do here. The victim turned away and tried to run. Oh, wait, run away. She only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. Oh. If Terry Falls isn't the criminal, then there must be something strange in that girl's testimony. I'm sorry, I'm so used to poking things. That completely went past my brain. I thought we got a different testimony. We're getting a different testimony. Moving on. Be careful, kitten. That girl has the judge wrapped right around her little finger. You're gonna have a tough time poking holes in that testimony of hers. You're gonna have to come up with something really good, Mia. That, indeed, we most certainly are. Okay, well, then I guess my best guess would probably be what I was thinking about way back when, yeah? All right, let's see. Then I noticed they started fighting. Only got about 10 yards. All right, hang on. What if that's a load of hooey? What do you gotta say about that? Witness, your testimony is a joke. Huh? What? But I just... Miss Faye, I thought I warned you not to make the witness cry. Yeah, well, what if I don't give a damn about her feelings? One short testimony and 2 bad contradictions. There's no possible excuse. You say there were 2 contradictions? It's simple. Just take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the 2 of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if there were, and the victim had turned around and tried to run, there it is. Well then, she would have hit a dead end. You said 10 yards, but she couldn't have ran even 5. Because Dusky Bridge has collapsed on that side. What does all this mean? It's very simple, Your Honor. This charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it. This beautiful young lady has been lying to the court in all my years. Just a moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. Smug, smug, smug. Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion. What do you mean? There's one major mistake in this diagram. What did you say? What are you referring to? Explain your noise, Mr. Sir. Come on now, come on now. It's all because this diagram was made after the incident occurred. It's a very old bridge. We couldn't find any official blueprints of it. So you're saying... I'm saying that even though the bridge is currently in disrepair, there's no evidence that can prove that the bridge was broken during the incident. Oh, come on! You can't actually tell the condition of the bridge from this photo. And I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence. Ho-hum, ho-hum. That guy is good. Eh? What do you mean? He planned it from the beginning. He's a genius, all right. That diagram of the bridge was insurance policy. What? That coward! That cowardly scoundrel with his cowardly cravat, or whatever that might be referred to as. I'm not entirely sure. Well, Miss Faye, it seems you've once again made a reckless accusation. Well, I'm so sorry. I should have been more careful myself. No. It wasn't your fault at all. I don't even understand if the whole trick is, oh, well, look, attractive lady. That means she's good. Then why is everyone being so mean to Mia? She's infinitely more attractive. Then again, I'm also aware of the fact that Dahlia is evil and, you know, murders. Or at the very least, will commit a murder. I'm guessing she had something to do with this one, too. Now then, shall we go on with the trial? I'd like to establish once and for all what it was that the witness actually saw. Indeed. All right, young lady. May I ask you to please proceed with your testimony? I almost gave it an Australian accent. I'm just not even gonna try. But it's so hard to go on. We're all on your side, Miss Foster. There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw. Yes, sir. Give me the information. Give it to me now. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. Witnessing such violence must have been difficult. Yes, sir. I'm still shaken up. If he accepts this testimony as it is, we're finished. Completely donezo. Like, we are doomed. Oh, well, maybe I'll stop off at my favorite cafe on the way home. They make a really great mocha latte. This trial isn't over yet, dang it. Why are you all like this? That's what I like to hear. All right, Miss Faye, your cross-examination, if you please. And I don't. The contradiction is staring you right in the face, Mia. Go on the attack. And attack I shall. All right, well, there is actually one thing I wanted to press. Okay, after he stabbed her, grabbed her, carried her over to the car. I actually am a bit curious. Why exactly couldn't he leave him on the bridge? Well, why do you say that? It's already a broken down bridge hidden away in the mountains. Why did he bother picking it up and stuffing him in a trunk when he could have just shoved it off the bridge? Doing anything more to hide the corpse would be going overboard, wouldn't it? Yes, but the mountain is famous among hikers. A surprising number of people go up there. But it's February, right? And it was raining that day, correct? There's also a small temple and a channeling dojo there. That's interesting, actually. You know those monks, they just love cold, isolated places. I think the witness is trying to say that the corpse could have been found at any time. Besides, the witness is merely reporting what she witnessed with her own eyes. Huh. Okay, interesting. Do you think that this will work, though? Do I feel confident enough to possibly present this? I'm gonna give it a try, because why not just dump it in the river? Objection! The music didn't stop. Your Honor, what do you think of the witness's statement? Hang on. Did I not do the right one? The Dusky Bridge map. The crime, no? Okay, that is apparently not it. I guess I don't think anything of it either. And we don't have a problem, but we do have a penalty. Dang it! All right, fine. Interesting. If there wasn't a problem, couldn't you just let it slide? Okay, fine. Hang on a second. Oh! I am not good at this. I apologize. A killer not wanting his victim to be found. I can understand that. However, the idea of moving the body for that purpose is clearly odd. There was a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found. Well, what is it? Take another look at the photo map of the area and you'll see how. You know, all this freaking river. There's a river right below the bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out something interesting about the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. Yeah! In the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. If 10 murders were to occur at the same spot above the Eagle River, you could bet your boots that every other killer would have tossed the body in the water. So why carry it off and put it into a trunk? Order! 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 I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Miss Fay, but I must admit it does seem odd to not have thrown the body into the river. Oh. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? Smug, smug, smug. How sad. Perhaps Miss Fay would do well to try taking a dip in the river herself. Did you just tell her to kill herself? After all, your claim to be such an expert in the ways of nature. What are you talking about? My point is that no matter how odd you may find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact is that this is what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw. Quite true. That is admittedly true. Miss Fay, it seems that your assertion was without merit after all. Okay, but what if it wasn't, though? But what the witness claims to have seen is totally ridiculous. Surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car. Certainly consistent with the witness has told us. Ah. Please, witness, go on with your testimony. I'll try. All you have to do is tell us what you saw. Otherwise, the mean lady might yell at you again. Who's talking about? All right, I'll do my best. Okay, we're going back to the way it was? We are, okay. Is anything changed around? Then he carried her over to the car. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. Okay, hang on. Crime photo. Actually, no, that's certainly not great. Okay. I was gonna bank on the idea that the trunk wasn't broken into, but it looks to be that it was. Stolen car and hid the body in there. He couldn't just leave the bridge. Carried her over to the car. Well, I feel like if there's anything that I can poke a hole in, it's gotta be this. Oh! I get you. Okay, hold up. The witness photo? Yeah, okay. Hang on a second. How could you have possibly known that? There we go. Well, Miss Foster, looks like you've done it this time. Done what? Made a crucial mistake? A crucial mistake? Like what, Miss Fay? Well, for one thing, how in the flying hell did she see anything about a car? Has anybody taken a look at the map? Look at that big old giant cliff thingy. She couldn't have seen no dang car. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. You're saying you saw that, right? With your very own eyes? Yes, and? It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. Yeah! The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is here. Do you see what I mean? Even if you tried to see the car, this outcropping of rock is definitely in the way. That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car. Slam jam! I admit that the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock. However, it isn't so tall that it would stop her from seeing the car. That's right. It's not high at all. I was able to see his car just fine. Yeah, except for what about nah? I'm so sorry, but that just doesn't wash. I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court, yes? This is the location that the photo was taken from. Your own photo tells the whole story. Look at the big old cliff. You can clearly see the left side of the bridge, but the outcropping that is being referred to is really more like a cliff. Oh, my Canadian beard hairs. Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff, but still you claim to have been able to see the killer's car? And you even saw that it got broken into. My sensibilities. Order in the court. What is the meaning of all this ballyhoo? I'm angry. Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled in a stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset. She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it. Okay, but that's still stupid. But she was repeatedly warned before starting her testimony. She was told to testify only about what she saw with her own eyes. Oh. Mr. Judge? What is it? I think I must have remembered things wrong. Again? Hey, wait a minute. You can't just say that. Yes, you can. It helps my case, so I don't care. Miss Faye, no one on the face of the planet is perfect. Yes, indeed. Quite true. You know what they say. To err is human, to forgive divine. I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here. What? That's not fair. Why not give the benefit of the doubt to me? Save the tears for later, kitten. Mr. Armando, don't look back until the trial is over. Now's the time to go forward. But that wasn't fair. Okay, kitten, you need to relax. Then you need to remember the other kitten's testimony. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. So tell me, how did she know that? How did she know that he broke into the trunk? That's exactly what I said! Hey! Well, Miss Foster, until you can explain how you knew that, you're gonna have a lot of very suspicious people on this side of the courtroom. Well, witness? Well, I'm certain that he broke into the trunk because there were marks left on the trunk lid. I'm certain there were scratch marks from when he broke into it. What? Let me see that photo. Indeed there is, but when did you see the truck? It's true. These certainly look like scratch marks around the keyhole. It's obvious that this trunk has been broken open. Well, Miss Faye, are you satisfied? Am I satisfied with anything ever in life? You want? I'm gonna say probably not. Let's go with that, eh? What she just said. Is there a contradiction in there somewhere? No, well, obviously I have to say it doesn't work. Otherwise, I've got nothing else to go off of. Melissa Foster, looks like you finally betrayed yourself. I'm not sure how, though. What? You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers. But even so, you knew about the scratches. The question is when? When did you get a chance to see those scratches? Thank you. Okay, I'm glad I was able to make note of that much at least. Finally, I finally got her. I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here. And perhaps it would be faster if Miss Faye explained herself. Your Honor, there's only one possible explanation. The reason the witness had seen the scratches was she happened to be passing by, she put the corpse in herself, she's the owner of the car. I'm gonna go ahead and say she put the corpse in herself. I mean, I already know that she's a complete and total psychopath. There's only one way that the witness had the chance to see those scratches. What is it? Naturally, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. What are you gonna say about that, jerk? The person who really hid the body in the trunk of that car was Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it? That's ridiculous. I could never. It was the man in the prison garb. He's the one that... I don't think so, Miss Foster. If Mr. Fowles had been the one that put the corpse in the trunk, he would have simply used the car key. There's no need to break it open. If he stole the car, he stole the key. Okay, admittedly, I did not even think of that. But he stole the car. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light, which means that the key would have still been in the ignition. Oh, I see. Ha! Hair flip. Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we never would have uncovered the truth. That it couldn't have been Mr. Fowles that put the body in the trunk. No! Slam jam! Preposterous! To even suggest that the witness put the body in there. If that were true, then how do you explain the photo that she took? The corpse could only have been put in the trunk when the incident occurred. And we already know that at the time she was taking photographs. It's on a timer. Now's your chance, Mia. It's time to slam jam. On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Mr. Edgeworth. There's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is the shutter for this may not have been pushed by Miss Foster herself, because it has a timer function. Let's take another look at this camera and see what features it has, shall we? It has a timer built into it, even a mini tripod. Why? It's almost as if she had brought this camera just to take this picture. What you objecting to? What are you trying to say then, Miss Faye? That when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't in the field as she claimed? Well, yeah. Unless she really did use the camera's auto timer. Then the answer is yes, she was somewhere else. Exactly, she was not in the field. Would the defense please explain further? Listen, this is the crucial point. Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? And answering that question will also make it clear Miss Foster's true identity. I think I can actually pull this off. Well then, please answer this question. I can do that, I can do that. Where was Melissa Foster when the incident on the bridge occurred? That's not what I wanted to do! Before pointing out where the witness was standing, Miss Faye should do something herself. She should figure out where she stands, if you catch my drift. Oh, don't worry, the drift was certainly caught. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. I wanted to take a look at my freaking court record. Everyone, please don't hold that one against me too harshly. I think I know how this went. I think I do, but I wanted to check the photo first, and I thought I could press the only button I saw. All right. I think she was standing here. How's that? Naturally, the witness was right here. But that's where the victim, Miss Hawthorne, was standing. Yeah, you're right. It is where Miss Hawthorne was standing. Oh! Order, order, order. Miss Faye, what on earth? Your Honor, if I may. After parting with the victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. Zoom! But this would mean that there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if someone put the body in the trunk, it could have only been before the defendant met with the victim. How asinine! Of course Mr. Fowles met with the victim. The only person with the opportunity to have put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Fowles. Yeah, but what if you shut up? You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? By the time the witness photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valerie Hawthorne. Slam jam! What? I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life. Then who exactly is the victim in this photo? It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness. What? It's the only possible explanation. The woman that Mr. Fowles met on the bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you. Dahlia Hawthorne, but Melissa Foster. Me? Let's remember that it was raining and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Fowles himself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne, wearing a scarf for identification purposes. But the defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the woman whose testimony helped get him convicted. But since then, my client has spent 5 hard years in federal penitentiary. He couldn't remember exactly what she looked like anymore. You're just making this up as you go along. Where's your proof? Got it all here. The piece of evidence that will blow this case wide open. And that's the hope, that's the hope. I think I got it. At the time of the incident, Mr. Fowles had forgotten what Valerie Hawthorne looked like because of the victim's note. And man, I feel so stupid and dumb for having so many pips missing. Ugh. But here we go. Mr. Fowles had forgotten the victim's face. That's why he needed some piece of identification, namely this muddy scarf. It was Mr. Fowles who requested that she wear this scarf to identify herself. That's already been proven by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf like he asked, anyone could have pretended to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, what do you have to say to that, Melissa Foster? Oh, hello. Did she just fly? Did she flew the coop? Where's Miss Foster? She's collecting herself in the lobby. Oh. It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hid the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together. You know, the really bad part about all of this is the fact that we know that Dahlia gets away with everything in the end somehow, because otherwise how would she have gotten pulled into court again? The only question is, why did she do it? Well, isn't that obvious? She's the real culprit. Well, we'll have to wait for Miss Foster to compose herself before we start again. Until then, this court is in recess. The defense and the prosecution are both to wait in their respective lobbies. Yes, Your Honor. Understood. Very well. This court is in recess. And he doesn't even get to do anything on the playground. I don't like you, Canadian judge. I miss my judge. He was a goober, but he was fair. And he creeped me out less. Let's just say that much. Anyway. I guess that's part 1. Whew, boy. All right. Well, I hope you guys had a fantabulous time, even with my incredibly dumb mistakes. And in the next part, well, I'd love to say that we're going to put the nails into this whole situation and, you know, get the proper culprit in trouble for all of the things they did, but I suspect it won't end that way. I'll see you all then.